Times now.
The NewsHour 10 agenda, co-powered by Joy Alucas, world's favorite jeweler.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the NewsHour agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. After much suspense and an early morning dare given by the BJP, finally the second list of candidates for the Uttar Pradesh elections was released in the evening by the Samajwadi. 9 candidates was put out, in addition to the 29 that had earlier been declared by the SP-RLD alliance, and that happened 2 weeks ago. Now, soon after, the expected criticism started. Questions were asked: why are those who are in jail, those have been charge-sheeted, those who've got serious charges against them for crimes against women, why have they all been given tickets? But before we get to that, let's take a quick look at the takeaways I found from this list. If we were just to see a quick breakup, because remember, these names are for Western Uttar Pradesh, a very critical area when it comes to the fight between the Samajwadi Party and the BJP. Now, in this list of 159, 31 are Muslim candidates, 15 are Yadavs, 5 Brahmins, and 9 women have been given the tickets. When it comes to the big names in this list, like we had told you earlier, Akhilesh Yadav's nomination from Karhal was made official today, as was his uncle Shivpal Yadav's from Jaswant Nagar. But there were 3 other names over which there is a lot of political wrangling. Azam Khan, currently in jail, he's been fielded from Rampur. He anyway represents that area in the Lok Sabha. He's been fielded now from the Lucknow, from the Uttar Pradesh Assembly. His son Abdullah Azam, who's just come out on bail a few days ago, he has been fielded also from the same district in Rampur. The seat he has got is in fact Suar. And the third name is of Nahid Hassan, booked under the Gangsters Act, again someone who's currently in jail, and more importantly is accused again and again of being involved in the alleged displacement of Hindu families from Kairana about 5 years ago, which is why with this list of names the BJP had in its armory again a spate of allegations about how appeasement and crime were the 2 recurrent motives when it comes to the SP candidate list.
श्री अखिलेश यादव जी ने समाजवादी पार्टी की जो लिस्ट जारी की है उसके आधार पर उन्होंने पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश को और उत्तर प्रदेश की 24 करोड़ जनता को शर्मसार करने का काम किया है कि श्री अखिलेश यादव जी यह बताना चाहते थे कि हम नई सपा हैं। ये नई नहीं, ये वही सपा है जो भ्रष्टाचार करती है, जो गुंडा राज करती है, जो माफिया राज करती है, जो उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर बड़े बड़े अपराधियों का संरक्षण करती है।
देखो, उनको केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 3 ही कैंडिडेट दिख रहे हैं, और जबकि कितनी बड़ी सूची समाजवादी पार्टी ने जारी की है। ये भाजपा के लोग चुनाव में ध्रुवीकरण करना चाहते हैं, बंटवारे की बात, नफरत की बात, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि इनके पास अपना कोई काम गिनाने को नहीं है।
You're watching the NewsHour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Smita Prakash, editor ANI, joins us. Shazia Almi, national spokesperson BJP, will be joining us in just a bit. Ashutosh, political analyst, is also live with us. Kamar Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress. Naturally, the first question is to you, Dr. Ashutosh Verma, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. First, tell us, why did you release the list today? Was it the pressure of the BJP? Many people are even saying that because in the morning BJP kept needling you, saying, why are you sending your symbol on WhatsApp? Why are you sending your symbol on WhatsApp? That's why you put it on Twitter instead of WhatsApp.
So, do you really think that we are sending a tickets on our symbol on the WhatsApp? If it is so, then it's very amazing that journalists like you think like the same. And if the Samajwadi Party is behaving acting,
the allegation made is that you were sending it on WhatsApp. Okay. But anyway, go.
That's what I'm saying. That's the way I'm saying. And if you think that Samajwadi Party is reacting to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesman, this is again a very huge statement by the Times Now. I don't think. since your journalists are also coming and our symbols are giving step by step in different districts, we are not disclosing all the seats at all. So now it has been compiled about 160 seats and the list has been disclosed. So there is no worry of that. And in the previous years also, if you say any elections, we give a list like this only. We don't give a 300, 403 list as a chance.
So Dr. Verma, ओके बी दैट एज इट में, आप व्हाट्सएप पे दीजिए, ट्विटर पे दीजिए, नहीं दीजिए, जब तक सिंबल लोगों को मिल रहा है और वो फाइल कर रहे हैं, हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ये आपका अपना मामला है, दैट्स योर डिस्क्रेशन. दैट बीइंग सेड, लेट मी नाउ गेट टू द इशू ऑन हैंड, एट हैंड. लिस्ट नहीं है, अपराधी वही है, नहीं ये वही सपा है, वही यही सपा है जिससे जनता खफा है. ये इतने बॉम्बशेल नाम आपने आज की लिस्ट में इंक्लूड कर दिए हैं, आपको लग नहीं रहा है कि ये बीजेपी को एक मौका मिल जाएगा फिर से आपको कॉर्नर करने का, कि अपराधी है, गैंगस्टर है, जेल बर्ड्स हैं, ये वही सपा है?
So if you take about the accused like this, so I think Sangeet Som has been in jail in 2013 in Urai jail in the order of High Court. Suresh Rana was also in jail on 22nd of September for the 7th Criminal Law Amendment Act by provoking rights. Kapil Dev Agarwal was also accused. Umesh Malik was also accused. And if you remember of Mr. Omkar Singh, the advocate, who has written his the name of Dinesh Khatik in his suicide note, and this is the person who is responsible for my death. And you know about the Vikram Saini of Khatoli, Muzaffarnagar.
Yes.
So let the people decide. Let the people decide. It's the people mandate. Neither me, neither you, neither Times Now will decide who is the bad, who is the good. So it's a people mandate, and Honorable High Court and Supreme Court has
certainly not decide, sir, but you do not think that it is going to be a problem. All the people that you named certainly have been in jail. But you, of all the list, there was quite an exhaustive list. I found at least 6 of them who've got various cases, including attempt to murder, crimes against women, etc. But we know of 2 people who are currently in jail. They are still in jail. You don't think that's a problem at all?
So you don't have you any courage to ask about the Bharatiya Janata Party? I have named the 6th person, and I will also name the Nand Gopal Nandi, Indra Pratap, Abhijit Sangha, Ashok Kumar Rana, Manish Aseja, Salesh Kumar Singh. Who will ask the question?
Which one among them is currently in jail? Which one them is currently in jail? Which one among them is currently in jail?
This is very shocking. That the ruling party is Bharatiya Janata Party going in 2013. Most of them were in the jail. So this is not a question like this. Let the people decide. Let the people decide, and they will choose. Who are you to ask like this?
Okay, let the people decide. So let's open this up. First impression, Smita Prakash. You think the list is problematic? Could pose a problem for the Samajwadi Party, or no? It's all fair game now. Everyone feels criminals.
Yeah, it's all fair game. Just as when we were growing up, corruption was becoming an issue, and slowly corruption did become an issue, and now criminalization and polarization is inherent to politics, and especially so with Uttar Pradesh, and this will come sharper into focus as we head closer to elections. The ticket distribution to people with criminal backgrounds is something all parties are guilty of. I'm sure if you ask the BJP, they will list out at least 20 to 30 people who the Samajwadi Party has tainted criminals. So this will go on, and the fact that Nahid Hassan, you pointed out, Padmaja, I mean that SP could have really found a better alternative to that man. I mean, he's in jail over hate speech and ghastly speech. And Padmaja, this Nahid Hassan is the same chap whose supporters bullied your reporter and cameraman in 2016 to delete the footage. They passed lewd remarks against the cameraman and the reporter and kept them in a hostage-like situation. Nothing happens to such people. They'll come out on bail, They go inside jail for some time, then they come out on bail. They have 30 to 35 cases against them, some of them, land mafia dons. They continue to thrive in the political arena because whenever one political party comes, they will give bail, they'll get out, then another mafia lot comes. So it's something that voters have little choice about now. It's like, who do we vote for? The least vile of them all. That's what it's actually come down to. Okay, but clearly there was some thought, Ashutosh, of
Samajwadi Party not being very certain about Nahid Hassan, why else would his sister be made to file a nomination as an independent and then eventually the SP going along with Nahid Hassan? Could there have been a better candidate? Is it now only not going to polarize the entire issue and play into the BJP's hands, which anyway, just by the way, day before yesterday was in Kairana. Amit Shah chose Kairana to kick off his door-to-door campaigning. That's not without reason. And now you have Nahid Hassan, make it the perfect cocktail. Ashutosh.
I think it's a perfect cocktail for the Hindu-Muslim polarization, because Yogi Adityanath also finds it fascinating to go to the Kairana, and also Amit Shah chooses to go there. And so I don't know what's so good about Kairana that everybody is going over there. I remember in 2016 when Hukum Singh has come out with the list and said these are the Hindu families who have migrated, who have been forced to migrate from these places because of some communal things. And then he changed his opinion and he said it is not because of the communal thing, but because of the law and order situation. It is not only Hindus, but Muslims have also migrated from there. So I don't see why the Home Minister of the country finds it so fascinating to go over there. Point number one. The point number two, what the cue I will take from the Smita Prakash.
They actually went and met, because last month when Amit Shah and Swatantra Dev Singh were both in Kairana, they met with families who says, "हाँ, हमने 2015 में पलायन किया था. We had to leave Kairana because we were scared for our lives and businesses."
I think if you Google, you will find Hukum Singh, who was a very senior leader of the BJP. He himself went back on his words and came out with a different explanation altogether. It's available on the Google. I don't have to. I'm not telling something which is a state secret, but I'm taking a cue from what Smita has talked about. See, if somebody has made a hate speech and makes a lewd remark and misbehaved with the cameraman, I think the latest example is Keshav Prasad Maurya. How he misbehaved, removed specs, and asked his security person to delete all the footage which he had on the camera. So he's a deputy CM of a state, and if he is allowed to do something like this, then obviously every politician in this country will feel encouraged and do something like that. So not that somebody is very clean, neither the BJP is clean, nor the Samajwadi Party is clean. And third thing is, which I want to say is that if Mr. Amit Shah, after being told by the Supreme Court not to visit Gujarat, and then he was declared Tadipar, and he gets a clean chit and becomes the Home Minister, I think why should we target somebody else? Because let the judiciary decide.
Okay. Shazia Ilmi, why are you so obsessed with Kairana when clearly even your former MP Hukum Singh went back on his issue, unless Kairana is a very convenient tool to polarize?
Well, what is so special about Nahid Hassan? Could they find no one else? What is so special about Nahid Hassan, who is not just known for his hate speech, but is also known and has been known to attack journalists, but has been known to attack the state machinery, the SDM's office and the district magistrate? What is so special about him? Could they have found no better representative? Is that not about polarization? And you say it's terrible to talk about respecting Hindu sentiment, but it's all right if a Kamal Nath says that sare Hindus hone chahiye, if a Mamata Banerjee says the majority of minority must be there and minority of majority should also be there for us to win. So it's very convenient when others talk about it, and these parties will be secular parties, and they would not be leading to any kind of polarization. But BJP will be a polarizing factor. I mean, I really don't get the logic of it at all. And in terms of actual real development, in terms of how any whether it's a tehsildar or patwari, whether there has been any discrimination on the basis of religion. It is for everybody to see that it is only the BJP government in UP and other places wherever BJP has been, that actually some real work has happened for the very first time. For the first time, people have seen a toilet, an Izzat Ghar as they call it, for the very first time. Also, I don't know what is
you asked what is so special about Kairana. Shazia is asking you what is so special about Nahid Hassan. Unless for a place which has a 40% Muslim population, you think he is essential for you. Dr. Ashutosh Verma.
I mean, you find
the same question. The same question goes to Bharatiya Janata Party. What is special about Sangeet Som? What about Suresh Rana? They were also in the jail. They have been accused was IPC 188, 353, 420, 153, 120B, 148, 341. What is this all going on? So this, what is special about Sangeet Som?
You read.
So
yes,
is it?
Yes, they were accused of that.
No.
They have been accused of that. There have been cases. There have been cases, and you just see what they've had to say. Whether it's the affidavits and whether it's the hearings, you just see in what context what they've had to say and what the courts have had to say.
106 MLAs out of 304, 35% of the BJP MLAs are accused of criminal activities. They have declared in their affidavit.
In the case of, you're not letting me speak because you're scared, sir.
No,
why don't you let me speak? Azam Khan was accused of stealing property by Muslims. By Muslims. So I don't understand what kind of polarization are you talking about. Azam Khan, whose son, no, I'm talking about Azam Khan, who said, again you're going on speaking over me. We can't have a discussion like that. I was actually
before you get to Azam Khan, I want to quickly resolve the issue of Nahid Hassan, because every time you bring up a particular name and his importance, I asked Ashutosh Verma if you could please quickly respond to that. Is Nahid Hassan an essential person for you even now in Kairana, because it has a 40% Muslim population?
Oh, that's very smart move.
And there's no harm in saying that. Yes, he's a popular leader.
Why Sangeet Som? Why Suresh Rana? Can anybody in the Bharatiya Janata Party can say why it's so special?
Sir, you can answer for your party candidate.
No. The same way you can question about the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Because of a Muslim-dominated seat that you had to go with Nahid Hassan, who is in jail.
No, that's not like. Party do an internal survey. They found that he is a suitable candidate. He can win the seat, and that's why he has given the ticket. The same way any party do.
Okay, he's credible, he's suitable, but let me bring back Ashutosh and Smita Prakash both. Since you said, Ashutosh, that Hukum Singh went back on his word, just by the way, his daughter Mriganka Singh still stands by the fact that there was large-scale exodus. From January 2022, let me quote a Jan Satta report, where they have spoken to a man called Lokesh Khatik and says, Lokesh Khatik से हमने मुलाकात की, पिछले 3 दशकों से खुरगन रोड पे एक छोटी सी चाय की दुकान चला रहे हैं. उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे रंगदारी की वजह से 2013 में वो पानीपत चले गए थे. He came back only in 2018. हत्या होने से पीड़ित परिवार ने छोड़ा कैराना. वरुण सिंघल के परिवार ने 2014 में जबरन वसूली के बाद उनके परिवार वालों को गोली मारकर हत्या कर दी थी, and that is why he also went and left the place. So Jansatta here has quoted at least 3 examples of people who left because of rangdari, vasuli or murder. That is not a problem.
I've quoted only Hukum Singh because the controversy started from him. It is he who started the controversy, and he was no small BJP leader. If my memory serves me well, then he was.
That is not true. There were wide reports against.
I did not speak, Shazia. I did not disturb Shazia.
Not serving you well.
I did not disturb Shazia.
No, you disturbed me.
I did not disturb you.
You did disturb me last time.
I did not disturb you.
In the midst of my sentence.
I did not disturb you, Shazia, please.
But I feel the need to disturb you.
I did not disturb you, Shazia, please.
Disturbing the flow.
Please, Shazia, have some civility.
Finish his point, because I think that a rebuttal is being given both by Smita Prakash and you, Shazia.
Have some civility.
So let him just finish what he's saying. Let him just finish what he's saying, please. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I need to say this.
Thank you.
You are putting it all down.
You will get your chance.
I will give you a turn. Yes.
Reports from all over. There were media
Shazia,
reports. There were individual families.
I know you get nervous when I speak.
I mean, let's face it, you can keep quoting one former member of parliament. The fact is, his daughter and people who actually went through it are being quoted now, verbatim. So those people are still alive, and they're saying, well, we were forced to leave. But anyway,
I do not know why the
I mean, we cannot say, Hukum Singh we will believe because he's no longer around, but these people who are sitting here, we will disbelieve. Even though they are saying, yes, we left.
I think I should be allowed to speak. Shazia did not let me speak, so Shazia, don't get nervous.
I have nothing to say.
Don't get nervous. What I'm going to say. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. I know you. I know the BJP guys get nervous when I speak.
No, please.
I know the BJP guys get nervous when I speak.
Please,
so let me speak. She's not letting me speak. So let me speak. Let me speak. I am going back to the original source of the story. The original source of the story is from Hukum Singh, who was a very, very senior BJP leader. He came out with a list. Then he went back on the list. After that, whatever is, everybody, Kairana became a very, very important place. I remember that the BJP, the delegation by the BJP which had gone over there, filed the story. I had never been to Kairana, so I can't vouch for anything whether the story was true or the story was not true. I'm only verbatim quoting what Hukum Singh, a very senior leader of the BJP, has said. The point number two, I think it is very important for BJP to take a name of Nahid Hussain or Azam Khan. But can they talk about Teni? Can they talk about the Teni?
Why is the Samajwadi Party giving them the chance to take the name of Nahid Hussain and Azam Khan? If you don't field Azam Khan, BJP won't get a stick to beat you with. Simple. Take the stick away from the BJP.
I said the similar thing could be said about Teni, who is the Minister of State for Home Affairs. Why he has not resigned?
It is being said every single day, and rightly so.
That's why I'm saying.
It is being said.
BJP is no better than the Samajwadi Party. Samajwadi Party is no better than the BJP.
Okay, Dr. Ashutosh Verma is trying to show us some clipping on his phone, but before I come to you, quick response from Smita Prakash, please. Yes, Smita Prakash.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Kairana is concerned, Padmaja, just because they were talking about Kairana, that there is a resettlement of some Muslim families which happened in Kairana post riots of the Muzaffarabad riots, and that changed the demography of that region, and then it caused a slow migration of Hindus. Now, you know what happens when these fact-finding missions of political parties go, that the families who leave or who were forced to leave, the neighbors, they are so terrified that nobody really gives a real reason. They just say, oh, they got jobs elsewhere, yahan pe bech diya. The fact is that the land mafia comes into play out there. Whenever a ghettoization happens, there are many ways of doing it. The mafia comes in, they come and say that you leave, otherwise, you know, you will be in minority, you have to leave from here, there is crime which is going to increase, these people are coming here, that one, there is so much of fear factor which happens, and this is happening in many parts, or it has happened over the years in many parts of the country. It's not just in Kairana or in Uttar Pradesh. This ghettoization happens anywhere, and mind you, even Muslims have to flee from some areas. They are not given rentals in some areas, in some neighborhoods, and they say that they are outnumbered and they have to leave. In Kairana, it is true that some kind of migration did happen because of resettlement. It's really silly and being ostrich-like to say that no ghettoization happened and nobody fled from Kairana.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Okay, Dr. Ashutosh Verma, you wanted to say something. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that you have mentioned one of the newspaper, and one of the leading newspaper, Indian Express, had done a large story and taking a huge interviews about large of the patients who have exodus from the Kairana. The most of the list which has been produced by the Bharatiya Janata Party, either they have died or they are not in the city earlier also. They gone. I don't say that the people have gone due to various reasons. It may be the neighborhood problem. It may be the majority. The reason was for the better job. They have fled away from that Kairana. So because Bharatiya Janata Party's narrative suits this, they are just polarizing the issue. And Amit Shah started the same from the Kairana and started, look, तुमको तो पता ही है किसकी वजह से ये सब हुआ था. What is this all going on? Basically, now the Bharatiya Janata Party on the backstage, and they know that not even polarizing, we can't get in a single seat in the Western UP. They know clearly. This is the only way. They are just now doing all these things.
So you're saying they are polarizing, you are only looking out for very deserving candidates. The fact they are only polarizing, but you are only giving tickets to the deserving people.
Let the people of Uttar Pradesh decide whom to choose. We are not going to.
This is what is extremely objectionable. Is that, you know, the entire argument that is being made. Can I come in, sir, please? You've made your point. I want to just come in. You know, I think at some point of time in our lives, let's just be fair. And while I heard Smita ji, and she made a point, this whole thing of majoritarianism that has become really the hulk on which the bulk of the argument and the staple diet on which the idea of secularism lives, where it happens in a small area where the majority community is not that of the other majority that lives in the country, which is that of Hindus, and when similar things happen, the whole phenomena of majority versus minority happens you have no explanations, whereas you seem to buy the entire idea of majoritarianism so easily otherwise. In Kairana, there were reports, and many reports, and there were visual reports in which many families accused, and this happens whether there is a dominant caste, upper or lower, or either way, in majority as opposed to another, which also happens with religion, which is why there was palayan or migration, because there was a fear factor. And this has been recorded. So let's not turn a blind eye from it, because this goes against your larger... So I just feel, let's just be fair at this point of time, because this is an argument that is used by the pseudo-secularists all the time.
Before we move on, I want to quickly focus. While everyone's talking about Nahid Hassan, Qamar Zaman Chaudhary, what about Azam Khan? The fact that the gentleman has 81 cases against him, including usurping of Waqf board property.
Yeah,
but if somebody is to give him a ticket, then what should one say?
Okay, Padmaja, today it's a very interesting debate from Alex now, and I appreciate your discussion on the criminalization of politics.
For once, at least I accept and I agree with Peeta Prakash when she raised two very important points today about the criminalization of politics. No party can claim itself to be holier than thou in these present circumstances. Even we all know that around 37%.
Sir, please talk about the list. While we sit here and talk about the terrible criminalization, can we talk about the list, please?
No, you have to come to the generic problem. Without coming to the generic problem, we cannot isolate a particular incident out here. Because 37% of the BJP's MLAs in the current outgoing UC Assembly is full of criminal cases against them. When you have got members of parliament with criminal cases, then this particular, the NN Vora report that was supposed to be made public since 2015, when our former CIC, Sailesh Gandhiji, he filed an RTI on 2015 for a details on the NN Vora report about the criminalization in electoral politics. But that report or the annexures has still not been made public. But then here the most important point is, I accept that the criminalization of politics in India is very much imbibed within the electoral system of our democracy. Now, the basic point out here, before 2014, I clearly remember our Prime Minister Modi, when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he said that मेरे को आने दो, हम एक साल का अंदर में हम स्पेशल कोर्ट बनाकर हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इसका अर्जी लगाएंगे और अगले पार्लियामेंट तक हम क्रिमिनल्स को पार्लियामेंट में घुसने नहीं देंगे. I even applauded silently because I want the criminals to be out of the electoral democracy.
Fresh from the induction of Tawqir Raza Khan, it's very refreshing to hear from you about the criminalization of politics, Mr. Chaudhary. Anyhow, since we have to take a break at this point, I want to quickly remind our viewers that while everyone talks about Nahid Hassan, there will be extensive testimonies that I have reported from the ground. We will play out for you again that in Rampur, actually the land which has allegedly been grabbed by Mr. Azam Khan and his family belongs to farmers. So when we're talking about the benefits of farmers and how their rights are taken away, their land is grabbed, most of the cases relate to land grab of poor farmers, poor Muslims and even Waqf board. So we'll focus another day in detail on that. For the time being, very interesting that the second list is out. Now, how this will translate to effect on the ground, we'll wait and watch. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, Peeta Prakash, Shazia Elmi, for joining me on Debate.